Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report. It's Mitchell Renz here from Chat Sports, and our show is presented by Rhone. If you like the dress shirt that I got on, and if you're looking for something that you can wear on date night, to work, hanging out with the boys, go to Rhone.com/chatsports. 20% off your order. Guess what? Promo code also chatsports. That link's going to be available for you guys down in the comments and in the description of today's show. So coming up here, we got all the Raiders minicamp news. Aidan O'Connell continues to look pretty damn good, man. Hunter Renfrow, the latest. In fact, as I am recording this video right now, just got an update around a trade, or maybe lack thereof, around number 13. The update on the Raiders offensive line, and then Michael Mayer, an injury. There's a Raiders insider that is saying that, hey, he might be banged up here a little bit, which is why he continues to miss practice. But let's talk about the Raiders' fourth rounder out of Purdue. And for the third day in a row, he has looked great. Seems to be picking up the Josh McDaniels system, seems to be very confident in learning how to execute this offense. And from everything that we are seeing right now, it's looking pretty damn good for number 4. His accuracy, though, it's really, really sticking out, and you can continue to see that a lot of these Raiders coaches, they're excited about what they have in O'Connell. Now, I get it. He's going up against Hoyer. He's going up against Chase Garbers, but accuracy is accuracy. So if you want Aidan O'Connell to succeed, I think we're in the right spot. Now, this is hype season, right? We haven't heard anything bad about him yet, which is always a good thing. This is always the time of the year where no bad information comes out. But from people who I talk to, and then compared to the reports that we got, you add both of those together, and I do personally think that O'Connell is having himself a pretty damn good offseason so far. And he should be the best quarterback. When you're going up against the Brian Hoyer, who's not a top 40 quarterback, and you go up against Chase Garbers, who's definitely not a top 40 quarterback, you should be able to dominate those reps. And from everything that we're seeing, O'Connell is absolutely positively dominating those reps. Now, I get it. We got a brand new guy repping the number 4. And for some people, they can't get over it, right? But I do want to show Aidan O'Connell. And I want to show every Raider player. If we talk about him here, show him some love. The nation is built different. So if you come across this video, show O'Connell some love. I want you to spam AOC4 down in the comments right now. Coming up next here is going to be the latest on Hunter Renfrow because, guess what? He practiced today after missing yesterday's session, which is definitely a good thing. And we have a new update around trade rumors involving number 13. But guess what? I got to give a huge, huge shout out to today's sponsor, Rhone, because I think they're making me look at least halfway decent around here. And with Father's Day literally right around the corner, this is a great gift that you can give Pops. All you got to do is go to Rhone.com/chatsports. Rhone helps you get ready for any occasion with the Commuter Collection, which offers the world's most comfortable pants, dress shirts, quarter zips, and polos. You never have to worry about what to wear when you have the Rhone Commuter Collection. With Gold Fusion anti-odor technology, you'll be smelling fresh and clean all day long. And on top of that, Rhone is 100% machine washable, so you can ditch the dry cleaner altogether. The Commuter Collection can get you through any workday and straight into whatever comes next. Head to Rhone.com/chatsports and use promo code ChatSports to save 20% off your entire order. That's 20% off your entire order when you head to RHONE.com/chatsports and use code ChatSports. It's time to find your corner office somewhere. So right now, this guy, he's looking at me. And he's like, oh, damn, I should have got the white one. Which, you know, I like all the shirts that I wear here from Rhone because I like flexibility. I like a shirt that fits me well, hugs my body the right way. And ultimately, I am a simple man. I'm not going to a dry cleaner. The fact that I can throw this thing in the wash, hang it up, let it air dry, and then I can wear it to work, that is the biggest reason why I love Rhone. I think you're going to like them too. One more time, Rhone.com/chatsports, 20% off your order. So let's talk about the latest here around Renfrow. And according to The Athletic, the Raiders haven't received any trade offers for Hunter Renfrow. We've been talking a lot about trade rumors out there, and the Raiders are open to moving on from him. However, they need to be blown away by an offer. The fact that they haven't gotten any trade offers yet might mean that you might not see them move on from Hunter. And for a lot of people, I've seen it on Twitter, I've seen it on Instagram, oh, well, they're just going to cut him the way that they did Derek Carr. No, they're not. If you have followed this show, if you have followed what we have talked about here, one of the biggest reasons why there was a certain date that is escaping me right now, I think it was 3 days after the new league year. So that was back in free agency that we talked about, are the Raiders going to trade Renfrow? It's because his contract got guaranteed. So if the Raiders were to cut Renfrow right now, they would save $470,000. They would eat $12.6 million. They are not going to cut Hunter Renfrow. It is either he gets traded or he is going to be a pretty important part of this offense. So let's just get that out of the way. Now, in terms of the way that he practiced the first day, did not practice the second day, practiced the third day. From that standpoint, haven't heard anything good, haven't heard anything bad about him. But the fact that the Raiders have not received any trade calls, I once said that it's 3 just win babies. I might now bump it down to just 2 just win babies. One player who has continued to look good at practice is Trey Tucker, and he caught a 25-yard touchdown pass today, or around 25 yards, I guess I should say, from Aidan O'Connell. Aidan O'Connell, Trey Tucker, it's the quickness, it's the acceleration, it's his ability to go 0 to 60, which has really caught a lot of coaches' eyes, and it's a reason why the Raiders took him as high as they did. So with Hunter Renfrow not receiving any trade offers, you got Trey Tucker continue to play at a high level. Yeah, Jakobi Meyers hasn't really been involved, but we already know Devontae, Jakobi, Hunter, if these 3 guys are on the roster, they're going to be the main people. And for some people out there, they're going to miss the fact that the Raiders haven't gotten any trade offers. So I want you to stay locked in, whether it's May, whether it's June, whether it's July. The difference between Raider fans and everybody else is there's no days off around here. I don't take any days off. And if you have a commitment to excellence, staying on top of your team, coverage 24/7 for the low price of free $99, hit that subscribe button, turn on those noties. We're also giving shout-outs to all the new subs that we get here in the month of June, because I think the most important thing in life is time. And the fact that some people take time out of their day to watch this show. I put a lot of time into the show. I get it. So we have that connection there. But the fact that people take time out of their day to hit sub, it means a lot to me. Helps puts a roof over my head, food on the table for me and Chugs, especially our dogs, because, well, they're pretty pricey. So shout out to Hobby, shout out to Tiburus, Bob, ECW Faithful, and Straight Rules FN. Appreciate you. And if you haven't subscribed, take that link, send it to some friends, and let's get this thing popping. So next thing coming up here on the Raiders Report, sponsored by Rhone, the offensive line continues to look very good. And, you know, you go back a few years ago, the Raiders, the biggest strength they had was their offensive line. They had arguably the best O-line in the National Football League, which, guess what, really helped out Derek Carr be the quarterback that he has, or that he was. The Raiders O-line, if it continues to look good, that's what you like to see. The versatility, it's there. The depth really showing up this offseason. I truly believe that this offensive line could be top 10. And some people are like, really? Top 10? They were, by a lot of metrics that I look at, top 15. I've even probably put them in like my top 12, maybe 12 or 13 around there. But there's a lot of talent here, and there is a lot of depth. There's no doubt about that. And the only people that are still going to say that the Raiders' O-line is a weakness are people that, I'm sorry, aren't paying attention. So say it with your chest right now. Let's do it. What's your confidence level in the Raiders' offensive line? I want you to scale it for me from 1 to 10. 1 being no confidence whatsoever in this offensive line. 10, really confident in the Raiders line. I'm going to say I am a solid 8. Giggity. No, and I mean that about the offensive line. Believe me. Alex will tell you, 8, that's just not true. But the 8 in terms of confidence level, you have to have it. Colt Miller, one of the best offensive tackles in the National Football League. Dylan Parham, a up-and-coming guard. Andre James has shown that he has gotten better and better every single year. Right guard's the biggest question mark right now, but I have confidence in the Raiders to be able to find that right guard. And then Jermaine Illuminor deserves a lot of credit because he has done a good job. And then the amount of other players they have that could start is something that I like. And then the most important thing, Carmen Russillo, arguably the best offensive line coach in the National Football League. So with it being such a deep room, I am going to say this right now. You are going to see at least one trade this offseason with the silver and black involving their offensive line. It could be at the center position in Andre James, a name that we have talked about a bunch. The name that I believe is the most likely to get dealt, I'll say, is Brandon Parker at offensive tackle, because they like Justin Murray, and they also like some of the younger players that they have, and they could potentially move on from Parker. And some of you are like, nobody's going to trade for Parker. I disagree. To be able to find a swing tackle that can play left and right, both sides, does have some value, even if it is just for a 2024 7th-round pick. Alex Barr started 15 games last season. He's not going to be starting this season. Justin Herron, I get it, the Raiders traded for him, but he's a player that it wouldn't surprise me could potentially, end up happening. Coming up next here on the Raiders Report, the latest here around Michael Mayer, the Raiders who they drafted in the 2nd round, 35th overall out of Notre Dame. Is he injured? Oh, man, it makes me nervous even thinking about that. But guess what? This Saturday, I'm excited. We're like 48 hours away, less than that. Jeremy Chuggs and I are going to be at Barcode Burgers in Las Vegas. Jermaine, if you're watching this video, you are going down. And it's going down June 10th, this Saturday, noon to 3 p.m. I hope to see a lot of Raider fans there. It's going to be a really awesome event. Get to meet me, Chuggs, Jermaine, autographs, pictures, former NFL players, current NFL players, current Raiders players, besides Jermaine. For the offensive line is going to have a strong showing. I want you all to see how big Colt Miller is in person, because he made me look like a really, really tiny person last year. It's going to be a fun event. It's all for charity, and it is this Saturday. But guess what? Every Friday, we do Raiders Friday Happy Hour. And I'm going to tell you all right now, I messaged Mount Raider Moore, Tri-Van, not going to be on our show tomorrow, but he will be in attendance on Saturday. Wild One's already got a little bit of a lead. Friday Happy Hour tomorrow. Wild One did something on Venmo. It's going to get wild, so hopefully you tune into the show tomorrow. But whoever is the MVP of our Raiders Friday Happy Hour show, I'm going to wear your jersey. So I wear a lot of jerseys on this show. Mount Raider Moore's. I wear, all sorts of jerseys. If you're the MVP of tomorrow's show and I have your jersey, I will wear it during my trip to Vegas, during my wing eating contest with Jermaine Illuminor. So let's get into some more Raiders news that happened today. In terms of players who did not practice, same old names here, Garoppolo, Jacobs. The only real new ones are Amari Burney, Jakorian Bennett missed. Those are the new ones. And then with Michael Mayer, we're going to talk about him because according to the Las Vegas Review-Journal's Vincent Bonsignor, he said that, hey, he could be nursing an injury. Anytime I see could be nursing something, my head at least is like, all right, well, I got to think about it. And he might be. There has not been a report that says he is injured or he's not injured, but for Vinny to say that he could be nursing something after missing 3 days at minicamp, I thought it was notable. I'll also say that anything that any beat reporter says around the Raiders, it's just the God honest truth, you got to take it with a grain of salt. Until one of these beat reporters breaks some news, you got to take it with a grain of salt. Personally, I believe that the biggest reason why Mayer is not out there on the field is because he hasn't signed yet. Like, him and I believe Jakorian Bennett are the only two rookies that haven't signed. And doing this show as long as I have, the fact that both Mayer and Bennett missed today, I bet you was a lot of the conversation of, hey, let's get a deal done. That was something that they prioritized because from what it sounds like, the next time the Raiders practice, I believe, is going to be June 13th for OTAs. I got a source already telling me that wouldn't be surprised if they cancel that one just because they're happy with what they have seen so far. So if that's the truth where they might cancel that June 13th one, I would imagine that they're talking to Mayer, they were talking to Jakorian Bennett, trying to just iron out the final details to get these two young rookies who they believe are going to help out the offense and the defensive side of the football, really help out this football team going forward. Appreciate all y'all tuning in. Again, tomorrow live, Raiders Friday Happy Hour, 4 p.m. Eastern Time start. And then I better see y'all butts out in Las Vegas Saturday, June 10th, noon to 3 p.m. while I take down Jermaine Illuminor in a hot wing eating contest for charity.